There's the convoy leaving the yard. And then there was one. How you fit a hob?
Yeah, you don't want to do that, do you? Don't want to look at me do that.
Yeah, you do. So, have you measured that, or did the measurements come? Did you measure that, or did the measurements come with it, the cutout size?
No, I've measured it.
Some of them, sometimes they give you the cutout size, don't they? So, yeah. You haven't got loads of space, have you?
No.
What's that like? What is that like? 15 mil? But realistically, to the curve, probably yeah, 15 mil. So you've got obviously cut this, and then what do you use to cut it? Because I normally use the either a router if we had the jig, but I don't for that size. I use the plunge saw, so that we get like a nice
plunge,
what's it called? A square cut rather than. I used to do it with.
You cut on the edge though, as well. So
I used to do it with the jigsaw. And then what would happen is the blade would slowly bend, and then you'd go to, and then you're using a multi tool to like straighten it all off. Yeah.
Yeah, no plungey.
Right. So well, I'm gonna go and see Ben. I'm gonna come down, and we have that set up ready to.
Well, we can be on the bench ready.
Ready to show people. Are you cutting on the bench, not in place?
Yeah.
I just cut it in place and just drop the saw down and.
Freehand it.
Yeah. You can put the bar on it.
No, we'll see.
Is that all the way through? Was it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Didn't look like it went down as far. So for anyone watching, you've obviously not just thrown that down, he's obviously started on here. And I don't know if you can see, obviously there's a bit now that he's got a hand saw out because obviously the saw blade's a circle and it won't do that. And then the same this side. Because obviously you don't want to go past where the saw's at its biggest depth. Hold on, push your shot. Will that thing come on if you push it down?
No.
Just to show people what I mean in terms of. So obviously this is the depth of the saw. However, to get to there, the saw's got to be in the middle. So only that bit has gone right the way through, and here it'll obviously taper off and at the back. So that's why we're left with the little bits. But
set the depth of the worktop.
Yeah. Easier to just cut it. Right, very, very strange one. I am on the way to Weston and I'm on the way to meet 4 people who represent the entire street about concerns with I've got to try and think what I'm saying here because they all watch the programme, so the YouTube, so hi neighbours, and you know, you don't need to make notes or whatever, you can just watch the programme because I'm sharing everything. I have literally got nothing to hide. So he specifically said that I'm not allowed to record the meeting. However, they are going to make notes minute the meeting, they called it. And if you've got nothing to hide, why not let me record it and share it with the world? So I'm putting this content out there, sharing it with literally the world. For if anyone sees something and points it out and goes, "That's wrong, you're doing that wrong," great. You know, I'll hold my hands up and say, "Look, I didn't know," or this is what we're doing to put things in place. However, these don't want to do that, so that makes me think, you know, what are they up to, or what are they wanting to say? But the reason I'm going to it is most people would probably say, right, your neighbour, you've got a house there sat empty, and you put it on Airbnb, and your neighbours all say, right, take it off Airbnb, otherwise we'll look to get a court injunction against you and we'll sue you for all the costs it's involved in stopping you from putting the house on Airbnb. And then they've also come up with some other concerns about the job we've done. Mainly, we've done a rear extension under permitted development, and they believe it's not permitted development. However, planning have sent everything to planning, and they're agreeing that it is permitted development. So I don't know whether that's just a bit of information to pad out the objections, because if they just sent a letter saying take it off Airbnb, that's it. So the situation now is I either keep it on Airbnb and take the risk of getting a court injunction and paying their costs to get the court injunction, maybe, or I just take it off and just pay for this house every month that's sat there empty until it sells, and also pay out thousands because the neighbours have done everything they possibly can to make life difficult for me. So I mentioned obviously about the drop curb, so now I have to pay £1,500 to drop the curb outside the house, even though it had an original driveway and the curb wasn't dropped, and most of the neighbours don't have a drop curb. But I'm not gonna report them for not having a drop curb, because I just don't believe it's the moral thing to do. So I'm going to suggest to them that, look, let me know your concerns about Airbnb. So ones I can think of are noise, traffic, parking, and I think that's it. I can't think of anything else that's in this area that would realistically, be an issue. So I'm going to say to them, well, how about I put it on Airbnb, and if someone books it, and if some of those things do happen, I will agree to take it off straight away. So I can put a decibel reader in the house that will alert me when it goes over a certain amount. Traffic, obviously we've got cameras on the house, I can monitor that. So why not let me put it on Airbnb, and if nothing happens, which chances are nothing would happen, then carry on with your day. It doesn't affect anyone. And if it does, I'll take it off. You were right, I was wrong. But yeah, let's see if they go for that. I can't see any reason, if they're serious, why they wouldn't do that. And if they just say no, I feel like they're just being stubborn, and I don't know, just want their own way without there's no reasonable compromise with them. So let's see. I was going to put a cheese board out like Jeremy Clarkson did in the farm, but I don't think it'll go down well, so I'll keep it as professional as I can, and yeah, I'll let you know after, if I'm allowed, how it went and what it was, and yeah, I don't know. We'll see. This is obviously the first meeting I've had of this type, so yeah, right, I'll let you know. So we start Friday morning with a call out. I've just got a text. It's 7 something at the minute in the morning, and it's water's flooding out from underneath the sink. So sounds like either the main stop tap or something on the sink's popped off, and they haven't got a isolation valve, anything to turn it off. So luckily it's down the road, so I'll be there within a few minutes, and yeah, hopefully it's an easy one and then I can go to the shooting jobs. So we're on this one now and there's water out. I've just tried to put my arm in, but this is absolutely covered in. What I'm going to try and do now is I'm going to try and snatch it on. I just need my other spanner. There we go. Nice, watch out.
Okay.
Oh, there we go. Ooh. So Mick's done the worktops, and you can see what he's done is he's cut the what do you call it? The edge. Like obviously when these worktops come, they come with an edge glued on. So he's cut that off, obviously buttered them up, and he's used like a glue in between to keep this obviously waterproof, because a lot of time in like rental properties you'll see if someone just butts the wood up to the wood, and what happens is it bubbles here and expands. And then what we've come up with, they do a splashback that we were going to get here that come in a piece that was just going to go there. However, you could only pick it up in store, so what I've done instead is, and these are actually cheaper, so it's a bit better to be fair. He's got a worktop there, ripped it in half lengthways, and what he's doing now is he's actually just obviously going to drill. He's marked out where the sockets are. So I don't normally like doing this, I prefer the back box being flush, but obviously we've just got long socket screws that are going to, I don't know, he's put them in his pocket maybe. So he's just going to cut out for this, and then the half of the worktop will have the nice clean edge on the top and the side on here, and yeah, that way we'll have obviously the same worktop flowing up the wall as an edge. And then this one, you probably heard the other day I was talking to you about, you know, where the gas, the boiler cupboard is and bends out. So what we're going to do is we're just going to reduce that one to that size, and then here we're going to cut the plasterboard away and return it up the top there as a windowsill. So it'll be a different height to this one, however it'll just look better, cleaner lines with the nice edging on the top under the boiler. I was thinking, why hasn't he done four holes? And then I realised that you don't need to. So we put tape on it to stop the laminate chipping like that. So obviously if you don't tape the edges or whatever, is that bit's getting buttered up into the...
Or getting boxed in.
Yeah, it's getting boxed in. I was going to say, if you've done it right, it'll just fall out. So one of the benefits now we've got is that obviously we've just been on the other student job, and I think it's Mick or Ben is just obviously moving the skip van outside this job, and I'm going to throw loads of crap on it. So obviously if we had a skip, it'd be stuck there and we wouldn't be able to do this. So these are like the benefits of having the tippers really. that you can get half a load off one job and then go to a different job and get another half a load, and obviously it's cheaper. But Lewis is just finished plastering there. The lads are finishing the worktops and stuff in there, and then I think Scott's going to start the doors, and then you can go back about another 30 centimetres. That'll do. Hey, there's a camera on that, you know. And me and Lewis, it's lunch now, so we're going to go and grab lunch, and then we're going to go to the yard. We've got 3 more tippers coming of hardcore, so we're going to go and spread it out. And also I'm going to fit a hot water heater to the little hut, and then we're going to drag the portaloo, because health and safety part of it is that once you start using the site, you've got to have running hot water and a toilet. So it's kind of hard and sometimes when you haven't, but now we've got the 3-phase electric, there's no reason why we can't have hot water, so let's go and do that. So me and Lewis are at the yard, and it's just figuring out where to put it really. I need to go and get the chainsaw, cut them up, and then I've put it on the local Facebook group to see if anyone wants any firewood. So I'm going to try and get this guy over here, because that's probably where we've got the biggest void, because we need to go right up to that fence really. So I'm going to get 3 loads here now, because that's all I can afford over here. And then yeah, I've just been on the phone to someone in Highways who's looking at the operator's license we've put in for, and obviously I was telling them like where we're up to and stuff, and he said that obviously a photo of us, you know, basically using the yard with vans on it would obviously help the application at the minute. Otherwise it'd be a case of waiting for the planning and for it all to be built, for it to be more likely to be passed by the commissioner basically. So yeah, go that way. No, full lock, yeah, full lock, yeah, come on. So hopefully this will fill that gap there. Let's see if I can get a bird's eye view. Oh, yeah. Wonder whether the neighbours are filming us again. That looks a bit better mixed, this one. Say mixed. I love how like shiny clean they are. And tipping. Hey, that's lovely, that one, compared to some of the others we've had. That's actually been crushed and cleaned. Oh, that one's been repaired, look. Big crack in it. Oh yeah, one of the neighbours is in the window with the phone out. Must have so many videos of me on the phone. I don't know what they're going to do with them. Right, gonna go and hook the digger up, get the chainsaw, and we'll try and spread this out so we can get another 2 loads in there. Cheers! So I'm just trying to demonstrate to the Highways agency for the operator's license that we can obviously get it's usable now basically. So obviously waiting for plan of emission, and when we get that we will obviously lose these triangles, which will give us even more space. But as you can see, it's perfectly usable at the moment, so hopefully they'll grant us the operator's license, as it would be good to have that to help us build the yard. Nick's spreading it out. Looking good. So if anyone's got any suggestions on how we can flatten this further, like a big steamroller or something. But yeah, probably I'm guessing probably one load left in this corner, maybe one load of like of what are they called, F2 or whatever. And then how many would you say there? One load or two? It's not as big as the one over there, I don't think. Maybe two, and then one to do. Well, that still needs a bit, doesn't it? This bit here. But yeah, buzzing. Looks proud moment stood here with the 4 vans and the trailer and the digger, just missing the crusher and the conveyor belts. But yeah, buzzing. So that's an end to the week. I've just left the yard, and in a weird way, obviously that wasn't planned. In a weird way, it's a nice way to end the week, having, you know, some of the lads bring some of the vans to the yard so that I can obviously get a picture of it, and I'm sure I'll look back at those pictures in a few years and think, oh God, remember when it was like that? Remember when I was going through all that stress? Or whether in a few years I'll just have a different stress. More likely. But yeah, happy with this week. I feel like we've got loads done, and the bloody digger, I know someone commented saying it's made of Chinesium, and I was using the lever, next minute a bolt just snapped, and it was right in the middle of the fella had just dropped 20 ton off. So I didn't film a lot of that, obviously, there, because I was so busy on the digger. St. Louis had to go and pick the welder up, and I ended up just welding the bolt, and just, you know, just so we can get going and move the thing. And luckily they sent one driver back and forth rather than 3 drivers at once, so we had time to spread it out. And yeah, going for a beer tonight with another developer. So I'm just going to go back now and get ready. I'll message him now, actually. I swear I never get out of these clothes. But also I had the meeting at Weston, and I think it went well, in the sense that I think beforehand their biggest fear was about Airbnb, but from the meeting I had a slight inkling, because maybe it's my fault for, maybe I can't even remember now, but maybe I've said something on the YouTube where I've suggested that someone might buy it as an Airbnb. I don't know, but I feel like from the meeting that's what they had in their minds, rather than me putting it on an Airbnb and selling it for like a few weeks. It was the long-term effects of, you know, if I put it on Airbnb, say, and it did really well, and someone looked at that and went, oh, I'm going to buy that. So they were concerned with, red light, maybe I won't put that fella's reg on. They were concerned with me selling it to someone who then would see it as an Airbnb, and also it weakened their position in terms of legally if they were seen to allow the Airbnb, and it got all complicated. And in the end I was just like, okay, so like, why don't I'm happy, you know, signing a document, or if you want to add a covenant to the title that specifically says this house cannot be an Airbnb. I said I'm happy with that, because everyone who's come to view it has been families. No one's been investors, and it was never, you know, it was never my intention for it at the moment now for it to be sold as an investment. You know, we've put it up, we finished the house as, you know, a family home. If we were doing an Airbnb, I'd have put emergency lights in, I'd have put a smoke fire panel, I'd have put, you know, I'd have soundproofed it, I'd have done all that stuff with, and we deliberately made the decision not to do that, fire doors, etc, etc. So it would have cost us a lot more, and obviously you need planning permission for an Airbnb. I'd already inquired about it with planning, and they said, look, it's unlikely because the area's, you know, gone away from that side of things. So I proposed that they allow me to put it on Airbnb, and if, you know, I'm going to try and obviously vet the people who are renting it, and if someone comes in and it turns into Project X, then I'll take it off Airbnb, because I'll hold my hands up and say, look, you know, you were right, I was wrong. But if we just get nice families in who come and stay for the weekend and go home, then, you know, people wouldn't even know they were there. And obviously the house sale goes through and all's done. I've driven the price of everyone's house in the street up, and everyone walks away happy. So that is what I've proposed to them. So I am just waiting, hopefully find out next week if that's a suitable proposition for the neighbours. So yeah, fingers crossed. Like I say, it's been an up and down week, as it always is, but I like to think we've finished on a high today, getting that done on the yard. So hope everyone has a good weekend, and I need to relax filming. I'm getting like 4 hours worth of footage at the minute. But if you haven't already, please subscribe, and if it gets to a point and you're watching a advert and there's a few seconds left, please don't press skip, because then we don't get any money for that, and all the money is going towards our charity, which is maybe next week that'll be officially set up. So yeah, have a good weekend, and I'll catch you next week. Ciao. Good morning. It is Sunday morning. Yeah, I was getting mixed up then because it's bank holiday. I was thinking Sunday morning. I've just been to Sefton Park for a run, and there was meant to be a big group of the lads we play footy with, but a lot of non-runners, so lads being lazy and fat. But yeah, there was only 3 of us, and while I was on the run, I've just got a call out for McGull. Now, I wouldn't normally go to McGull because I probably sound spoiled saying this, but anything that's more than 30 minutes away, I don't see the value in, you know, travelling half an hour there, half an hour back, and like I say, the majority of them are an hour, so it just halves your money, and if you're going further than that, it's even more. However, this one's a commercial one, a commercial electrics, and the company don't have anyone else who can do it. So it's 336 an hour, so it's obviously worth travelling 40 minutes for, well, in my opinion, which is why I'm on the way. And let's see what it is. I say they're always interesting doing these call outs, so I'd always recommend, so like say I used to bring like the apprentices on it. We used to have an apprentice electrician, and I used to bring him on the call outs, and his head would be like, what's going on here? He'd be like, why is it doing that? Because that shouldn't be connected to that. And I'm like, yeah, welcome to the real world. Like, you'll sit there in college and go, like a ring main, oh, it should go from that socket to that socket to that socket. So why is the loft on the downstairs ring main and also connected to the cooker and the lights? And I'd be like, so it's good to like go out there in the real world and see these issues, like what causes fires, and it does make you think that you're training. Everything you go through, you think, I won't need that, like that's a bit over the top. And then when you do come to these call outs, like the one this week where it was on fire, and you're like, that's why we do it, because obviously that's the cause of fire, and that's why we check stuff, because although someone's telling you it's off, it might not be off. Yeah, I'll let you know how this one goes. Everything is slowing me down today. I've just had to overtake some cyclists who are now going to come up behind me again, in front of me, and then now I'm stuck with the train. So I will eventually get to this call out. It says I'm a few minutes away now, so hopefully these come up quick and there's not another train going the other way. Yeah. And the cyclists, yeah, I've stayed in front of them, which is good. This is in the middle of nowhere. So I've come to, it's a brasserie, lovely day for it, a boathouse in Ormskirk, and I've pulled up and it smells absolutely amazing. They've got, you know, breakfast cooking and stuff, and I thought, oh, the whole thing had gone off. So I went in and he said, look, you know, it's come back on after trying a few times. So, and it's one of the busiest days of the year, bank holiday. So they've said, you know, obviously, thanks for coming out and stuff. And they also had a leak in the boiler. So I said, look, obviously while I'm here, I'll have a look at that for you as well. But I said, what they've got is obviously a kitchen that didn't used to be a kitchen. So the original ring main, obviously it's just been added to. And obviously they've got some, you know, more substantial ovens and microwaves and stuff there now. So what I've told them to do, I said I'll come back and I can, obviously when they're closed, and I can test the board, and I'll test obviously the resistance at the board of that ring main that keeps tripping. And then what we can do is add up, you know, the wattages, the amps of the machines they've got plugged in, and I will tell them whether, you know, it's safe to carry on running what they're doing, or if they need to split the ring main, so add another one, or, you know, pull some of the higher wattage machines onto a new ring main, just, you know, surface mounted with trunking. But yeah, and then I can test all the RCDs for them and just basically give the electrical system an MOT and just advise on what they can do better to stop it happening, because obviously for a business that does obviously food and breakfast, etc., you don't want your whole electrics in your kitchen tripping. But it's obviously doing it for a reason. So although if it was mine, I'd obviously close it down and do the work, it's not. And obviously it's important for them that, you know, they earn money on one of the busiest days of the year. But yeah, I didn't really film anything in there. It was quite hectic. So I'm gonna go and see me family while I'm up this side of Liverpool and see if we get any more. No other ones have come through yet, so I've decided while I'm here, and it smells so nice in the kitchen, that I'd contribute to the electric problems by ordering a breakfast. But yeah, so I'm on another call out, and
have you got one
it's
now?
to drill holes in these plant pots, and I've done loads of work for this woman. However, she never pays. She always tries to pay me with cups of tea.
I do pay you.
She always tries to pay me with cups of tea. Get your card out, come on.